Throughout my 4 or 5 years of entrepreneurship now, there's been one thing I've noticed about every other successful person that I've met. One thing that allows them to get into the position where they don't live a life like the 99% of other people. It's something I have, it's something every single one of my friends has, it's something that literally every single successful person I've ever met has. And it's not something overly complicated. It's not something that not everyone knows how to do. It's something that's actually pretty damn simple. And that thing is the ability to work when they don't want to do the things that they don't want to, and to be able to actually put their focus into achieving their goals. Now, it's definitely not common for every single person out there to have these traits, but it becomes very common as soon as you start surrounding yourself with people who are in a position where you want to be. Living out in Miami at 21 years old now, I'm oftentimes surrounded by people who have the same goals and the same ambitions as myself. And the one thing I've noticed about every single one of these people is that they're ambitious enough to get to where they've gotten today. They were willing to do the things that they needed to do in order to get to where they are. They were willing to work when they didn't want to. They were willing to sacrifice things other people aren't willing to sacrifice. And they were willing to simply make a decision to make a change in their life. Now, another thing I've noticed in every single one of these people who is hyper successful is that they've never told themselves that they're not capable of doing something they dream of doing. They have zero limiting beliefs. If they want something, they're gonna go get it, and they know they're more than capable of doing so. There's no thoughts in the back of their head like, what if this doesn't work out? How am I gonna do this? They know simply if there's a will, there's a way. And they'll do whatever it takes to get to where they want to go and to crush whatever goals it is they have set for themselves. I mean, for example, why do you think I'm sitting outside of my house filming a YouTube video at 11:20 at night when majority of other people are inside sleeping or watching a movie or scrolling on TikTok? I have a goal of putting this mindset into thousands of other people who watch this video, and I'm going to do what's necessary in order to achieve that goal. Why? Because it makes me feel better about myself and it brings me genuine fulfillment. And that's what separates the people who are hyper successful from the other 99% of people in this world, is they find fulfillment within things that make them a better person. Not fulfillment in short-term happiness and dopamine rushes. They chase becoming a better person, whether that's financially, physically, spiritually, regardless of what it is. They do things that overall improve their quality of life and improve themselves and who they are as a person. Looking back at 4 or 5 years ago when I started doing all of this online business stuff and went through countless of business models, failure after failure after failure, I still did not give up. Would I be here today sitting in front of these cars if I had given up after I failed drop shipping, after I failed trying to trade crypto, after I failed every single business model you could ever think of? What I did was I kept chasing the workload, kept chasing the fulfillment that doing these things and this failure brought me, because I knew the grass was going to be greener on the other side. Even after countless amounts of failure and failure and failure, deep down, something about failing was bringing me the fulfillment that I was looking for. I don't know if it was simply just that I was fucking crazy, or if I knew that every single failure I was running into was just bringing me closer to the success that I was chasing. But something about failing over and over and over again just made me hungrier, which allowed me to learn the things that I didn't know to allow me to get to a position like this today. And I think that's what makes hyper successful people hyper successful, is that they're just literally fucking delusional. They do not care about other people's opinions. They do not care about any blocks in the road. They do not care how hard it's gonna be to get to where they want to go. They're gonna do it regardless. Because not only does the result bring them fulfillment, but the journey along the road brings them fulfillment. Like, if you genuinely want to achieve your dream life, do you think that it's gonna be easy? Not one of you answered that question yes. So if you can find a way to adapt your mindset to fall in love with the process of achieving your goals, the journey of getting there is going to become fun. And that's what separates these people from the other 99% of people. Even though the journey isn't easy, they find a way to make it become fun. They fall in love with the chase of success, with the chase of failure. And it truly is what allows them to get to where they want to go. And again, if it weren't for my younger self who was delusional enough to fall in love with the process and fall in love with the failure, I wouldn't be where I am today. I would be in my junior year of college, getting ready to soon graduate, go down the corporate road, and chase my way up the ladder of the 9-to-5 system. But instead, I simply made a decision that I was actually going to do what it takes to change my life. And as soon as I made that decision and promised myself I was gonna make it happen, the journey became fun. Now granted, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's gonna be shit that makes you literally wanna rip your hair out, or if you're like me, it naturally starts falling out. But for the most part, it's pretty damn cool and it's pretty damn fun. And once you get to where you can almost say you made it, you start to look back at some of that time when you were starting out, and literally, as like corny as it is to say, look at those days as the good old days. Believe it or not, there's days where I miss sitting at my desk in high school, staying up until 2 a.m., having to go to school the next day at 7 a.m., sitting in my parents' basement, just like slaving away, stressing about how I was gonna have to go to college in the next couple months if I didn't figure this online shit out. Or even when I was in college, going from school back to my college dorm, grinding my ass off. Again, as corny as it is, like I look back at those times and I'm like, damn, shit was like really simple then, and like the process was just so cool to all see come together. So I haven't nearly made it to where I want to be in life. I still have a lot of goals to achieve and a lot of things to accomplish. And I'm sure one day I'll look back at this and be like, damn, that was the good old days. But regardless, be willing to do the things other people aren't. Be willing to enjoy the journey. Be willing to enjoy failure. And be willing to fucking learn. That, my friend, is how you'll get to where you want to go. Make sure to like, subscribe, check out my other videos to learn more about freelance brand scaling, as well as my free training in the description. Road to 100K. I love y'all boys. Peace.
No, how did you make your millions?
I made my millions playing video games for a very long time, kind of building up the streaming space, kind of creating, people say what streaming is today.
Did you have anybody that doubted you early on?
Oh, my own family. My own family used to doubt me. I remember my parents were very big on me going to school, becoming a lawyer, an accountant, or something in mind, like with a suit and tie. But yeah, you know, everyone. My father actually believed me very early when my internet was getting declined when I was younger to get the best streaming internet. I just remember that he was always there to swipe his card and help me out when I needed it. So my dad always believed in it. He would get complaint from the neighbors and all this stuff, and he's still the same as he was 5-6 years ago when I came up.
Have you ever been fucked over in business?
All the time. I think it happens to most people until you finally know your self-worth and what you bring to the table. And I think that if you can remember who you are and have your self-worth to the highest it can possibly be, I think it prevents you from that. Because once you realize that you're the main character in your life, once you protect yourself, and once you learn kind of how everyone out in this industry has no heart, that's when you kind of can learn how to play that game as well.
Now, you've been at the table with some heavy hitters, closing massive multi-million-dollar deals. What's your best negotiation advice for anybody in business?
The best negotiation advice for anyone in business is not being scared to walk away. You know, when you kind of drop that fear and it's more like, oh, it's either this happens my way or we walk away. I think that'll definitely help. Realize that very early, because a lot of people bluff in business. I mean, it's just what you do. It's a business game, it's politics. You gotta kind of be fake and play both sides.
The person with the most leverage is the one most willing to walk away.
100%.
Did you walk away from a lot of money?
Of course, I've missed out on several million-dollar opportunities involving deals and involving my own stuff that I've created. But hey, for what you may miss, there's gonna be a whole other path you've never even seen before. Now I'm getting brand deals, offers, all types of business conversations that I've never had. And it's all from kind of standing your ground and being you and just not changing up for anyone but yourself.
So throughout your career, what was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
Ooh, I don't know. What does Google say? I think there was this point where everyone was throwing around these big numbers, streaming deals, that what I've known, which is worth more, is taking equity. So I've actually, my best year, I'll say it's, well, how about you take a guess?
$30 million.
You're right around there. That's a good estimate. $30 million. That was pretty good, actually.
Was it actually?
That's right around there.
Would you say it's a little bit more or a little bit less?
A little bit more.
A little bit more?
A little bit more. But you're close.
That's incredible, man. How does that feel? How old are you?
24.
You're 24 years old making $30 million in a year.
I mean, there's no words for it except God is amazing. I'm nobody without the people that watch me on a daily basis. They are not only my followers, they're my family members. I could speak about anything, and that's what also it comes in what I do. Building a very loyal fan base that loves and rides for me no matter what. And they're the reason why I can make 30 M's plus a year. Thank you guys.
That's a beautiful answer. One of my favorite business sayings of all time is where attention goes, revenue flows.
100%.
And you did that better than just about anybody else. How did you build raving fans? You know, I interviewed Ryan Serhant, one of the biggest real estate brokers in the entire world out of New York City. He's selling $4 billion a year. He said he used to think the skill set used to be your ability to sell and all that, but it's not. It's the person who gets attention.
100%.
What did you do differently from 99% of other people to be able to make $30 million in a single year?
I think not fearing. That's another thing too. People are very, very hesitant and they fear. What's the point of being feared? The reason why I bought this house right here, everyone's seeing, I bought this house because life's about pulling the trigger. Life's about having no fear, and if there's consequences, you deal with them after. You gotta pull the trigger or else somebody's gonna pull it. So that's what separates 1% to the 99%.
Closed mouth doesn't get fed.
That's it. Pull the trigger in life. Go do this that you're hesitant. Oh, should I do this? Just do it. If there's consequences, if it was wrong, you learn. You gotta learn things in this world. You know, nothing's gonna kind of be taught to you. You gotta go out and experience it.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is like like the most expensive house. How much did you buy this house for?
25.5, I think it says on the website.
$45 million.
Yeah, 25 million.
This is the most expensive house in the city.
Correct. You know, this is not the beginning of what I want to do. I want to buy way more around this area and kind of build a little empire in a way. I want to have my family. I want to have a bunch of cool stuff
I
we
was
can do.
telling them you could put 10 houses in your front yard.
There you go. All my family can move in, all this stuff. So I want to expand more. I want to build more.
So let me ask you this. They say it's easy to make a lot of money. It's hard to keep a lot of money.
I agree.
How are you making your money work for you?
I've invested heavily into the crypto market, which is, by the way, that's another thing I'm going to talk about. But I've invested in crypto, real estate, watches. Cars are a horrible investment. Doesn't count, obviously, unless it's Porsche. But yeah, I would say stocks, real estate, crypto. My story I have with crypto is you never want to hold too long in a market, right? Like, don't get greedy. That's one thing I did learn this year. Take your profits when you're up. Don't get greedy and go for like a 10x. If you were happy with a 1.5x or a 2x, take it. Don't get greedy. The market's always going to be up and down. It's a game. You always want cash ready when the market's ready to drop. So I think not making that mistake is something I want to be heavily about. Sorry, what was the question?
How can somebody get rich with the money that they have?
Chasing what fear is in the market. Look what's going on in the market, right? I'm very big into crypto. Like I said, pull your profits out when you need to, but something that's very, very safe. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but Bitcoin, it's just holding itself. I just feel like putting your money into something that is going to go up and down, have a couple drops and upwards a year, that's kind of what you want to do with your money, in my opinion. Play hard. You got to be competitive. But again, don't do what I do and take your profits. It's very important to take your profits.
So I want to challenge you. What's the best advice you've gotten throughout your career?
I've actually learned this very, very recently. The best piece of advice you can give to somebody is to not take advice. And what I mean is when you're growing up and you learn things as a child, and when you develop and you become who you are by growing up and experiencing whether it's trauma or good life experiences. I think when you tell someone don't do this, don't do that, majority of people that are the entrepreneur type, they wanna do what the opposite crowd's telling them to. Everyone's saying, Aiden, go to school. If I were to take their advice, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And I'm not saying going to school is wrong. I'm just saying everybody has their own paths. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do with their own life. And that's why nobody should really give heavy advice on what somebody wants to do or how somebody else should run their life. It's your life. Take your own advice. You can learn, you can have input, but learn by your own mistakes and learn by your own successful points as well.
We just interviewed Will Smith, and
Huge.
he was telling us that you get to a certain level, it's like not many people that you can take advice from. It's like, I wouldn't have done none of what you did, but look at what you accomplished.
100%, and that's what it's about, right? That's why I love this page, what you guys all have going on. This is amazing, because when I'm in bed and I just see this, I just see these hungry people, it's really, really good what you guys are doing, because pages like this, when I see a TikTok, whether it's Shaq or whether I see whoever you guys have on, I saw the Ruben one, that's actually made you hit you guys up, because Ruben's a good friend of mine, but it's just super motivating seeing other people in my space, and I'm sure to the followers and as well, I mean, it's just amazing seeing people create. We're all humans, we all have fingers, we all have legs, we all have arms, we all have noses, mouths, etc. We're all the same. Everyone can kind of do anything in this world, you just have to put your mind to it. You'll be called crazy at first, but then you'll be called a genius when you accomplish it.
If you lost everything tomorrow, could you make it all back?
Yeah, I would, and here's how I would do it. In my space, when it comes to content creation, short form, whether it's clipping, shorts, whatever it is, I would find a way to where I can start doing IRL streaming, build my way back up, and doing a bunch of stuff, and having them all ready to go in clips and stuff like that. Besides the actual streaming part of things, I would just make sure my mentality was never just worried about what I'm gonna do. You kind of just have to wake up every day and just kind of want to do it without anxiety. You got to have your overconfidence in this world, and I think that would help me get to where I'm at a lot sooner as well. Because I feel like when you're coming up, you really do have to have the utmost confidence in myself. In the beginning, I had a very bad anxiety.
So how did you ultimately find that self-belief to go make tens of millions of dollars?
Self-belief just comes from literally just having no plan B. And I know it sounds crazy, and I just never had a plan B. It was always just I had to wake up. Whether I felt anxious or felt like shit, I had to wake up and do what I had to do.
We always like to say that believing that you can is more profitable than believing that you can't.
Exactly, 100%. You got to just believe. It might sound crazy, like I said, but then when you accomplish it, where you get to where you need to get, you'll be a genius. And that's just how the world works.
So you mentioned a little bit earlier, I want to tap back into, you talked about having equity. How important has ownership been for you?
Oh, I have ownership for one of the biggest streaming platforms, Kick, and it's amazing. I mean, when you have equity, it's kind of like, it doesn't really necessarily matter about the quick cash. You could build up a company that can sell for billions of dollars like I am with Kick, and my percent will be worth a lot of money one day. When it comes to equity, that's the real control. That's the real wealth. It's very cool to take these cash deals in the beginning, 100%, but I think as you come up in business, learning equity is the strongest thing you can get out of any type of deal.
Ownership is king.
Ownership is king.
I want to tap back in one more time about like the content creation ultimately. You were talking about like the clipping. Give me that blueprint that it takes, right? If you had to start over today and you had to blow up again to be able to build a multi-8-figure a year, business essentially from the content creation, what would that be? For the people that may not understand what clipping means exactly, our audience could be a little bit older, 30
I understand.
to 50.
Sure.
Let's break that down to them. Make it real simple for them.
So clipping is pretty much a form of content where you make a clip out of a big moment. So for example, if I were to go do a live stream swimming with sharks, so that live stream itself will probably be about 2 hours, but the clip itself could be anywhere from like 10 to 30 seconds, which will make a viral moment, which will funnel people to where you're actually live streaming off of. So pretty much clipping is just a funnel to your main live stream, if that makes sense.
So a lot of people will kind of question and ask, how do streamers even make money? Like, how do you make money live streaming? How have you made tens of millions of dollars live streaming?
Depending on what platform platform you're on. You can earn money streaming by subscriptions, which you pay to not see advertisements on certain platforms. You could donate to the streamer to donate extras like a tip, which is also very good and it adds up a lot. And then KCIP, which is Partner Income Program. I'm gonna show you how much money I make in 15 or 16 streams. I'm pulled up right now. But how Kick does, my platform, is we pay you based off the hour. So let's say you averaged 100 viewers, you can make $7-8 an hour. If you average 1,000 viewers, you can make $100-200 an hour just streaming on Kick. Let me just show you what the Partner Income looks like. So in the month of June, as you can see, I've done 18 streams and made $623,000. And that's not including whatever else I have going on, but I could show you too. So this is June, total paid streams, $623,000 in June alone. If I stream 30 days, I can make way more. It's huge.
And your last message to the younger generation, how can somebody become a multi-millionaire in today's world? They want to get Adin Ross rich in today's world. How can they get wealthy?
Guys, there's three really golden rules. And listen, number one is the most emphasized one. Remember guys, it takes a lot of luck to become a streamer. I've been doing it for a long time before anyone really knew who I was, on and off for 10 years. So my message to you guys is, please, you might sound crazy at the beginning of whatever you got going on, but I promise you, and I emphasize this, when you make it for yourself in this world, it's gonna feel amazing, and you're not gonna be crazy anymore. You'll be called a genius by your peers and your family, etc. Just please believe in yourself as well. Number one, right now, focus on something for a year. You could be working at the same time. You could be working a regular job, but focus on something for a year. When you're not working, you're doing this, and I guarantee you'll see results in whatever you guys have going on. And it's best of luck to you guys. I pray I get to meet all of you, and I pray that all of you guys can make big purchases like this. I know you all can.